Have you ever noticed how the loudest people are rarely the most successful? How some of the most powerful transformations happen not under a spotlight, but in silence? What if the key to real growth wasn't about showing the world what you're doing, but about quietly building strength until no one can ignore it? In today's world, everyone is broadcasting their lives. Every move, every thought, every accomplishment. But let me ask you this. Does constant exposure bring peace, or does it create unnecessary pressure? True self-improvement is not about seeking validation. It's about private victories that no one else needs to witness to make them real. If you're someone who wants to grow stronger, build discipline, and live with unshakable confidence, then this message is for you. Before we dive deeper, make sure to subscribe, because here we explore how to master yourself, rise above the noise, and create a life of power, not just for the world to see, but for you to feel deeply within.
1. Why privacy protects peace. Privacy isn't secrecy, it's protection. To live a private life doesn't mean you live in the shadows or that you carry shame about what you are doing. It simply means you value your peace enough to guard it from careless hands. When you keep parts of your life private, you create a shield around your inner world, a place where your thoughts, your struggles, and your ambitions can breathe without interruption. Not everyone deserves access to your struggles, your plans, or your dreams, because not everyone will understand, and some will even hope you fail. Too many voices at the table can distort the vision that was meant only for you to carry. And so privacy becomes not a wall of isolation, but a boundary of wisdom, a way of saying, this part of me belongs to me, until I am strong enough to bring it into the world. In silence, you find clarity. You can think, plan, and build without the constant noise of other people's opinions drowning your instincts. Opinions are often projections, shaped by envy, insecurity, or misunderstanding. If you expose your raw ideas too soon, you risk shaping them to please others, instead of remaining faithful to what your soul is calling you to do. Privacy frees you from the weight of expectations and the drama of comparisons. When no one knows what you are building, no one can measure it against their limited imagination or rush you into timelines that do not fit your journey. In privacy, you become the sole architect of your future. And in this stillness, you learn to listen to yourself again. That inner voice, so often drowned in the noise of the world, regains its strength when you protect your space from unnecessary interference. Privacy doesn't just protect peace, it nurtures it. It creates the conditions where peace can take root and flourish. Peace does not grow in crowded soil. It requires emptiness, solitude, and patience. By maintaining privacy, you free your mind from needless comparisons, from the endless scroll of other people's curated lives, and from the constant explanations that drain energy. You are no longer performing. You are simply being. And in that state of being, peace finds you. Protecting your privacy is therefore not selfishness, it is self-preservation. You keep the most fragile, precious parts of yourself from being handled by careless or unkind hands. What is guarded thrives. What is overexposed withers. By keeping your inner life sacred, you protect not only your peace, but the strength required to continue walking toward your vision without distraction.
2. Keeping your moves off the radar. Imagine a chess player announcing every move before making it. The opponent would counter easily. The game would end before it even began. Life works the same way. When you broadcast every plan, you give the world the advantage. You invite resistance from those who fear your progress, envy from those who resent it, and distraction from those who would rather you stall than advance. By keeping your moves off the radar, you deny the world that power over you. You retain the element of surprise, not only for others, but for yourself. There is something invigorating about watching your own plans unfold quietly, step by step, until suddenly you find yourself standing in a place that others thought impossible. The quiet journey holds fewer obstacles because fewer people have the chance to interfere. Staying off the radar isn't about hiding, it's about strategy. A seed does not sprout in full view. It grows in darkness, beneath the soil, protected until it is strong enough to break through. In the same way, your early work, your fragile plans, and your vulnerable beginnings deserve protection. When you quietly put in the work, no one can sabotage your progress, no one can mock your early steps, and no one can measure you before you're ready. Too many dreams die in the stage of explanation because people try to justify to others what was never meant to be understood yet. Silence preserves the fragile stage of becoming. By the time the world notices, it is too late. Your victory has already been built, and when your results finally appear, they speak with the power no explanation ever could. Life rewards those who are disciplined enough to work in shadows before stepping into the light. To stay off the radar is to give yourself room to breathe, to experiment, to fail privately without being branded a failure, and to refine your craft without constant judgment. The truth is that many want to see you fail, even if they smile to your face. Others may not wish you harm, but their doubts still carry weight, and if absorbed too early, those doubts can plant themselves in your mind. To stay off the radar is to protect your vision from being suffocated by the limitations of others. It is a reminder that your path is yours alone, and until it is ready to stand tall in the open, it is safer and stronger kept in silence.
3. Letting hard work speak for you. Talk fades. Results echo. Promises, however loud, eventually dissolve in the air if they are not met with proof. The loudest declarations mean nothing without evidence, and the strongest evidence is consistency. When you let your work speak for you, people cannot argue with it. They can question your character, they can doubt your intentions, they can even resist your presence, but they cannot deny the weight of what you have built. Hard work is undeniable. Effort creates results that no words can replace. In a world addicted to appearances and announcements, the quiet worker stands apart. While others speak of what they will do, you simply do it. And in the end, silence is the sharpest amplifier of achievement. Think about it. Who is remembered longer? The person who boasted endlessly about what they were going to accomplish, or the person who showed up each day, unnoticed, until excellence became impossible to ignore? History remembers the doer, not the talker. Words may inspire briefly, but results inspire permanently. The worker who labors in obscurity and lets the fruit of their labor speak carries more power than the one who endlessly proclaims what is coming but never delivers. There is a timeless strength in quiet effort because effort is pure. It is not diluted by vanity, applause, or expectation. It is rooted in discipline and fueled by a vision that does not need validation to survive. That is why when success finally arrives, it does not need an introduction. Its presence alone commands respect. Your actions carry more weight than your declarations. Silence sharpens the sound of success. The less you say, the more undeniable your results appear. The fewer promises you make, the more your victories resound. To let hard work speak for you is to align yourself with truth itself, because truth does not need persuasion. It is simply evident. When you dedicate yourself to the grind, to the discipline of daily effort, you embody a kind of strength that no speech can counterfeit. And when the day comes that your work is revealed, it thunders louder than any words you might have spoken. Talk fades, but results echo through time. In the end, you will be measured not by what you said, but by what you silently built and left behind as proof of your dedication. 4. Avoiding the ego trap. Ego is a silent enemy. It does not storm into the room with loud declarations. Instead, it creeps in quietly, whispering temptations that sound reasonable, even motivating. It tells you, show them what you're doing. Make them see your progress. Prove the doubters wrong. Show the world you're worthy. At first, it feels harmless, even righteous. But the moment you begin chasing validation, you unknowingly hand over your power. You stop moving for yourself and start moving for the applause of others. That applause may never come, and even if it does, it vanishes quickly, leaving you empty again, searching for the next fix of approval. In this way, ego drains your energy. It feeds insecurity rather than strength, because the more you depend on external praise, the weaker your inner foundation becomes. Like a fire that burns hotter when fed with dry wood, but collapses when the fuel runs out, ego thrives only on temporary attention, leaving you unstable when silence returns. Winning in silence is the antidote to ego. When you achieve without boasting, you starve the part of yourself that craves external validation. Silence keeps you humble, grounded, and aligned with the reality that growth does not need an audience. You don't need to convince anyone that you are improving. You don't need to display proof or receipts of your progress. Growth, like the roots of a tree, happens in hidden places, beneath the surface, unseen, yet essential. True confidence is not loud. It doesn't need to make announcements or demand recognition. It thrives even in the dark, because its value is not measured by how many see it, but by how deeply it transforms you. Think of a mountain. It doesn't rise to impress, it simply exists, solid and enduring. To embrace silence is to embrace that same strength, firm, steady, unshaken by whether others notice or not. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius warned against letting fame, praise, or criticism dictate your path. He wrote, "Ambition means tying your well-being to what other people say or do. Self-indulgence means tying it to the things that happen to you. Sanity means tying it to your own actions." Ego, therefore, is insanity in disguise. It shifts your center of gravity outward, leaving you unstable. The antidote is discipline, the practice of doing things for their own sake, because they are right, because they make you stronger, because they shape you into the person you want to be. The athlete who trains in silence, the student who studies without needing recognition, the worker who builds without applause, these are the ones who become truly unshakable. Their reward is not the validation of others, but the mastery of themselves. Silence is not weakness. It is the deepest form of strength. 5. Enjoying success without showing off. The sweetest victories are not the ones broadcasted on screens or shouted across rooms. They are the ones you quietly hold close, the ones that no one else needs to see to be real. When you win quietly, success becomes an intimate satisfaction, a personal treasure, rather than a performance staged for others. You enjoy it because of what it means to you, because of the path you walked, because of the strength you discovered in yourself. It is not about how it looks, but about how it feels. Imagine a traveler reaching the peak of a mountain after hours of solitude and hardship. The view is breathtaking, but the true joy lies not in photographing it for others, but in the deep silence of the moment. The heartbeat, the breath, the realization, I made it. This kind of victory cannot be diluted by anyone else's opinion because it does not belong to them. It belongs solely to you. Sharing success, on the other hand, can sometimes weaken its purity. The moment you broadcast it, you open the door to others' judgments, praise, envy, criticism, or indifference. Suddenly, your private joy is colored by how others respond. If they cheer, you feel lifted. If they dismiss, you feel diminished. But when you celebrate silently, you preserve the essence of the victory. You carry it within you, a secret fire, a steady source of energy that fuels your next step, your next goal, your next quiet triumph. Success becomes a cycle of inner growth rather than outer performance. It ceases to be a peak you show off and becomes instead a lifestyle you embody. Quiet success builds character, while loud success often builds dependency on applause. In silence, victories become fuel, not trophies. The Stoics often emphasize that external recognition is not only unnecessary, but also dangerous. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Replace wealth with praise, and the lesson remains the same. Those who crave recognition never have enough. The one who keeps success private, however, finds contentment in the act itself. This does not mean you never share or never inspire others. It means you are not driven by the need to be seen. If your joy comes first from the work, from the discipline, from the becoming, then applause is simply extra, not essential. Like a flame protected under glass, your joy cannot be extinguished by the winds of others' opinions. To enjoy success without showing off is to keep your power intact, your center unshaken, your path untangled from the noise of the crowd. You win not once, but again and again, every time you resist the pull of pride and choose quiet strength instead.
So remember this, not every battle is fought in public, and not every victory needs an audience. Privacy protects your peace. Silence safeguards your strength. Hard work speaks louder than words, and humility keeps you untouchable. If you want to build a life of lasting power, stop broadcasting and start building. Win quietly. Grow privately. Let your results echo without you saying a word. Because the strongest people don't need to announce their victories. They live them. And if this message resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful lessons on self-mastery and personal growth. Until next time, win in silence, live with peace, and let your life itself become your loudest statement.